So before we start, as per our tradition, let us have our prayer recited. Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ariyanam, Namo Vasjhayanam, Namo Loe Savva Sahunam, Eso Pancha Namukaro, Savva Pavappanasano, Mangalanam Cha Savvesim, Padhamam Havai Mangalam, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Jai Sachidanand. In all our sessions, we recite this prayer. And today we are going to study thoroughly. We are going to see all the aspects of this universal prayer. People have one misunderstanding that this is only Jain prayer. Only a part of it belongs to Jainism. The first 5 verses. At the end of the session, it will be clear that this prayer is universal. It is for mankind, irrespective of religion, creed, country, places, whatsoever. To begin with, dear friends, we know the significance of prayer. It is not coincident that in all religion there is prayer. In school, colleges, educational institutes, in family, prayers are taught, they are recited, they are sung. In our family, it's a tradition to pass the prayers to younger generation. But today's generation has indifference towards prayer because it's a real meaning. It's scientific explanation, the reasons behind them. The people were unable to explain and convince our children, our kids. That's why the children develop some indifference. Anyway, prayer is undoubtedly the most powerful way to transform oneself. We all have experience when in the operation theater, doctors come out and say, and now you can pray to God. Means prayer is the ultimate remedy. When all human efforts are made and no expected result is got, then it is suggested. But actually, prayer should be the part of everyday routine. In this scientific age, people have scientific attitude, they have developed so hence, being curious, they ask very openly, what will happen if I do prayer every day? I do not see any change in my life, generally. So due to this lack of scientific reason and authentic explanation, indifference towards prayer has increased a lot. Why to pray? Again, this is also a big question. What is the purpose behind praying? Prayers are there. In all religion, in all creeds, people pray. And they get result of different degrees also. The purpose of prayer is, first and foremost, it helps to concentrate. It purifies mind. It is mind which becomes restless. It quietens the inner turmoil for a while, due to which a person feels relaxed. Then prayer unfold right understanding and leads to inner happiness. We are not capable to comprehend all the things. We require some divine help to grasp some deeper, profound things. So prayers serve the purpose for that. Further, it is the power of prayer that so many miseries, sorrows, problems, grudges, they are postponed or they are mitigated. And each prayer has a certain sound. If we are going to consider scientific viewpoint of the theory of prayer, and there is one practical also. So we all know prayer, they are to be uttered, they are to be sung, they are to be recited, and by doing so, it creates specific sound which has specific frequency. And what happens due to this frequency, let us see. I am sharing here one video. See what happens. There is one huge iron round plate, and a person is scattering some sandal grains on it. Randomly. There is no shape at all. He has just scattered this sand everywhere on the plate, and now he's going to create this sound. Listen to the sound. Blowing of conch. And please observe the shape. Different patterns with the different sound vibrations. By this experiment, it is quite clear that sound vibrations cause a certain effect and results in harmony. Things which are scattered all around due to this sound vibration, they come in symmetrical position. They gathered properly, and one can able to see it very clearly. So this is the effect of sound vibrations. When we chant prayer, the similar things happen. So we consider this grain of sand as a thoughts, and that huge iron plate as a human mind. Thoughts are there, bombarding of thoughts. It happens all the time. And due to this, there is confusion, there is turmoil inside. By proper sound vibrations and with intention, it creates a very nice arrangement. There is harmony inside. This is scientific aspect of sound vibrations. Dada Bhagwan revealed the secret of three mantras. Our today's topic is blissful prayers. Because these prayers impart bliss. There are so many prayers. People read so many divine songs, bhajans, kirtans. There are so many shlokas. There is too much recital, even artis. Each and everything is good in its own place. But we want blissful prayers. We want the prayer which is one and only and for the entire mankind. And that is Trimantra. So Dada Bhagwan has elaboratively explained all the verses of Trimantras. It is wrong conception that Trimantra belongs to Jainism only. It is not like that. Because what the Trimantra which Dada Bhagwan explored and handed over to us, it is composite, it is perfect. Previously, some part was missing. Let us understand with one analogy. Rishabdev Bhagwan, who is regarded as Adam, the first divine enlightened being, he gifted mankind this three mantra prayer. But in course of time, he was enlightened being and he knew that as mankind will develop some different groups, they will get divided and they will also divide these mantras. So he warned that time, you may choose your temples different. You may choose different gods to worship, but do not change this three mantra. Let it be united, composite as it is. But in course of time, it happened. So a first part was taken away by Jain people. The second one, it was taken by Vaishnava Panthi, and the third one by Shaiva people. And the last one was missing at all. Last part, Jai Sachidanand, which was for entire mankind. So what are the secrets of three mantras we are going to study elaboratively in these sessions? Let's see what benefits are there of this blissful, amazing, result-oriented prayer. By reciting all these mantras together, it is possible to get blessings of all deities and all enlightened ones. This is not a salutation to only a particular person. By chanting this prayer, you are saluting, making obeisance to all the gods, all the enlightened ones of the entire universe, including your family god, including your family guru. So this prayer covers everything. This prayer removes difficulties and confusions in the path of liberation, and they help to march ahead on this spiritual path. See, if a person has to raise high on the scale of evolution, he requires energy for that. This energy, if it is consumed in removing the worldly obstacles, when will he get time for this spiritual journey? That is why this prayer was introduced to save the seeker from the worldly troubles, worldly problems, so that he can continue his spiritual journey. So effect of Trimantra thus is attainment of eternal happiness as well as holistic prosperity. So these three mantras are beneficial in two ways, not merely spiritually, but also worldly. A businessman wants prosperity. He wants his business go well. Everybody wants prosperity, peace, happiness, nice family life. These are worldly achievement. These worldly achievements also can be had by reciting this prayer, but the most important, more important benefit of this prayer is the benefit of rising high on the spiritual path. So let us examine, let us discuss the verses of three mantras one by one. Let me remind once again, three mantras are great gift of Dada Bhagwan to entire humanity, and we are lucky to have, because they were lost after 10 lakh years. These three mantras were united together and be presented. Let us see now. The first verse of three mantra is Namo Arihantanam. Arihant. I offer, it means, my humble salutations to the Lords who have conquered completely the inner enemies of anger, pride, attachment, and greed. So, Arihant is the person who acquired the status of God by conquering all the inner enemies. Ari means inner enemy. Hanta means destruction. So Namo Arihantanam conveys salutation to Arihant God. Arihant God, they are physically present. They have the human body and they exist in the universe. Anybody who wants to attain the ultimate stage of liberation, he requires the grace of Arihantanam. Arihanta, there is no other way. And these Arihantas are the first and foremost for being instrumental for liberation. Presently, you will be very much amazed to have this wonderful knowledge which has been described by Tirthankars in the scriptures. Right now, there are 20 Arihants in the universe, and they are existing bodily in physical form on other planets, which are thousands or lakhs of light years away from us. But there they are. Science will, don't know after how many years, will describe. Science may call them aliens or whatever, but they are there. And the science will, let us hope, come to know about it after huge time. Our spiritual scientists learned about them by power of their inner vision. So this, out of this 20 Arihantas, which are everywhere, residing everywhere in the universe, the nearest Arihanta for our earth is the one whose name is Bhagwan Shri Simandhar Swami. And he resides at Mahavideh Kshetra. This is the planet. That planet might not have been discovered or named until now. But Arihanta is there, Shri Simandhar Swami is there. And the scriptures does not proclaim or make a statement about this. They have given entire information about Shri Simandhar Swami. Because they were enlightened being, they have that very rare vision, rare siddhi, a very infinite capacity to wander everywhere. They did, and they put them down in detail. even including the size of body, the look, even the fragrance, and their parents. All details are there. So, Namo Arihantanam, we offer our salutations to Arihant Bhagwan, Shri Simandhar Swami, and all other 19, all total 20 Arihants. Their grace is required. Coming to the second verse of Trimantra. Namo Siddhanam. Siddha. Siddhas are those who are liberated souls. Arihantas have physical body. They are existing, they are living. But they have won all the inner enemies. They have evolved to a very huge scale of evolution. They are close to Siddhanam. Their next evolution will be Siddha. Siddhas are those who are liberated soul and they have attained the final state of absolutism, like Sri Ram, Mahavideh Swami, because they are now out of this vicious cycle of life and death, and they remain in blissful state as ever. Our goal is to be liberated like them. This journey is very long, and therefore I bow to them. Siddha means perfect, and they do not have physical body. They have Vaikraik body, and they are free from life and death forever. They are beyond the body and the pleasure and pains related to the body. They have become eternally stable in the form of self, transforming themselves in the blissful state. So, Siddha, we bow to the Siddhas, though they are not directly beneficial to us. Arihanta is directly beneficial to us, but we also need to seek blessings of Siddha, because that is the final goal. That is the final destination. That is the utmost point of evolution. Even Arihantas, for them, the next step is Siddha. So we bow to all the Siddhas. The next verse is Namo Arihantanam. So until now, everybody has understood one thing. This Trimantra is salutation to the enlightened beings. And these enlightened beings, this salutation, they have occupied that status. And this status, anybody can occupy by grace of them. Third verse is Namo Arihantanam. Arihantanam are acharyas, or let us call preceptors or principles. They have also internalized, experienced the virtues set by the absolute living masters. Acharya is again trying, acharyas are trying for the next two status of evolution, Arihanta and Siddha. Okay, so these principles have attained height of spiritual progress after self-realization, and they help others, they help students to progress on the path of liberation. They are the great preceptors, and they have experience of self-realization. They are not a common principle or common teachers or tutors. They know their self very well. They are fully aware of their soul, their self, their pure self. And that is why it is necessary to take their blessings too, because they are too much ahead of us. Our journey has not yet started. And we have to start, we have to salute all the enlightened beings, because the goal is very, very high, and without grace, it would be very difficult to achieve. So that is why Namo Arihantanam. I bow to all acharyas who are helping others to make progress on spiritual path. Acharyas also teach the principles of Arihanta. They spread the thoughts of Arihanta. Okay. The glorious teachers of the past have created such literature which amazes the world with intense study of knowledge. They have done a very nice job for the entire humanity. Many great teachers have given the mankind legacy of valuable text and scriptures, even though they are not bodily present among us. The scriptures, the literary text written by them, it led the humanity towards this glorious path. That is why we have to bow to the Acharya Bhagavanta. They are instrumental in taking the seeker to strengthen his resolution, because this path is full of temptation. Worldly temptations bring people back from the spiritual path. We decide, people decide, every day I will try to meditate for some time. But some or the other problem come. There is the call from the house. Oh, this thing you have to bring. You did not bring this, you did not bring that. Worldly life, it is full of wants, it is full of so many, you call needs. So that's why we require grace of this Bhagavantas. The next verse is Namo Arihantanam. Now this means I bow to all the self-realized, the eminent teachers who are studying the scriptures for their own progress towards the path of liberation, and teach those to others for spiritual advancement. Now, Uvajjayanam Upadhyaya, his status is less than Acharya. Acharya is a professional guide. Upadhyaya, he is a student as well as a teacher. He can guide. He has also self-realization. So this is the salute is to Upadhyaya. Now, this is the last salutation in Navkar mantra. Namo loe savva sahunam. I salute all the saints, sadhus, who are initiated by the enlightened soul, the Jnani Purush, and are progressing to attain the ultimate stage of pure self-state experience. Now this is one more stage, less than Upadhyaya. There are sadhak, sadhus. Dada Bhagwan says, Loe means in the universe, and sadhu means, sadhunam means sadhus. So the salute is to all sages in the universe, all sages, not on the earth, in the universe, wherever they are. Those who are self-realized, those who are seeker, those who practice the path of liberation, their grace is also required. So Namo Loe Savva Savunam. I bow to all the sadhus of the universe. This word sadhu, it has nothing to do with the clothes or long beard and saffron cloth or white cloth or green cloth. Okay. It is a status. And this status is of self-realization. The status is of self-realization. These 5 salutations completely destroy all sins. If sins are not destroyed, a person has to stick to the vicious cycle of death and birth again and again and again. By reciting, by bowing to these five enlightened beings, it destroys all sins. And this recital is most auspicious for well-being of one and all. These are Dada Bhagwan's words. How important Trimantra is. What is the benefit of Trimantra? Why should we chant Trimantra? It is the holiest. There are many holy prayers. Among all holy prayers, this is the holiest because it gives results very quick. And it is a science. Prayers are like password. If any one symbol is missing, if any frequency is missing, the result may vary. This one is as a gift of the enlightened being. It's a perfect one. And it's a science. Om. This is also very wonderful research. What is Om? Much has been spoken and read and written about this sound Om. But see how it is related to Trimantra. Om is the collection of different sounds. A, A, together. We are talking about this sound. It is not simply Om. See. It has 5 sounds in all. The first A stands for Arihant. Next A is Adehi, without body, means Siddharth, Namo Siddhanam. Third A is for Acharya. The next sound U is for Upadhyay. And the last sound M for Muni or Sadhu. So Om is an abbreviated form of Namaskar Maha Mantra. But while chanting Om, this knowledge is required. Otherwise, result definitely will be there. Effect is always there. But if mixed with intention, the result is amazing. Hence, Om is abbreviation of the entire salutations to the. Now we come to the second part of Trimantra. Until now we studied the first. Trimantra means 3 mantras. So we studied one, Namaskar mantra. Here is the second. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I bow to the ones who have acquired divine Narayan form amongst all human beings. So Vasudeva, this is the name of status. This is the name of throne. Any person can occupy this. Vasudeva is the one who has achieved this status of Narayan, godly form, from an ordinary human being. Generally, Vasudeva, we refer to Lord Krishna, but there are other Vasudevas too. We are saluting to all the Vasudevas. Totally, there are 9. Lord Krishna was one of them. We know the Ramayana. So Lakshmana was also one of the Vasudevas. In this verse, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, we salute, we make offering, we make salutation to all Vasudevas. Krishna is one of them. So it is clearly mentioned in the scripture that during crisis, Lord Vasudeva takes the side of Dharma. Total 9 Vasudevas appear in a time cycle of 10 lakh years. Total 9. And with them there are anti-Vasudeva. They are also 9. Vasudeva takes the side of Dharma. Anti-Vasudeva, they are irreligious. They are adharmi, non-righteous. And Vasudeva, they are self-realized souls. And it is clearly mentioned that Lord Sri Krishna will be the 12th Tirthankar Arihant in the next time cycle of Utsarpini. I hope this is a little bit technical and can be understood. Now, 2 mantras we have studied. Namaskar mantra and Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. The final third one is Om Namah Shivaya. I bow to the all self-realized, compassionate ones who are instrumental for the liberation of mankind. When Shankaracharya was in search of Guru, Adi Shankaracharya, and while wandering, he reached the bank of river Narmada. He found out, he came to know about a Guru, and he decided to meet him personally. When he reached the cave where his Guru was doing penance, the Guru called from inside, "Who is that?" To this question, "Who are you? Who is that?" Adi Shankaracharya composed one entire poem. And it's very deep, very nice to be read and understood most properly. And he that time said, "Oh Gurudev, I am Shiva, Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham." So the word Shiva means instrumental for bliss and ultimate liberation. The image of Lord Shiva we see, it is metaphorical. And anybody can become Shiva. Who is Shiva? Certain characteristics are there. All enlightened ones whose ego is vanished, they are called Shiva. Shiva is himself the form of welfare. The one who himself has become embodiment of welfare and shows the path of welfare to others is Shiva. So Shiva is not selfish. Even after achieving self-realization, he graces others with welfare and shows the path of welfare. The Shiva is the supreme benevolent man. And he has manifested the supreme soul in his body. Shiva has the ability to create the store of virtues and provide the vision of knowledge. Other names of Shiva are Shankar or Neelakantha. Neelakantha because his throat is blue. And throat is blue because he drank poison. So this is all metaphorical. And even after drinking poison, he did not die. He did not get angry. He did not react. He stays calm and composed. So he has the rare grace to put an end to the physical, mental, and external sufferings. If you look at the image of Shiva, you will find that, see, What is, let us please open up for discussion. You can unmute yourself and answer. Gati Krishna ji has asked one question. Sir, the original prayer was written by whom and which language? Yes, at the outset we have mentioned this original prayer came from Bhagwan Rishabdev, Adinath. He is also considered as Shiva. People worship him as Shiva. Some other community they call him Adam, but he is the same person, one person, Bhagwan Rishabdev. And this language is Prakrut language. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Now, if you look at the picture of Shankar, what is there around his neck? What does Shankar, what is the necklace of Lord Shankar?
Snakes.
Yes, there you are. And what is his vehicle? Vehicle of Shankar?
Bullock.
Yes, Bullock, Nandi. And what's about his family members? What is the vehicle of Ma Parvati? Yes, please. You must have seen Ma Parvati and Shankar sitting together. What is the vehicle, so called, of Devi Parvati? It's a tiger. Karthik and Ganeshas are children. What is the Vahana of Ganesha?
Rat and Kartika is peacock.
Very good. Kartika has peacock. Now you see, Shankara has a snake around his neck. Snakes and rats are enemies. Snake and peacocks are enemies. Naturally, bullock and tiger, they have their fixed relationship. Tiger should attack bullock and make his prey. Shiva is the one who lives with all and who takes care of all. This is one family. And they have different attributes. And still they stay together and they stay happy. This is very wonderful metaphor. What is there in the head of Shiva? It's a crescent of moon. Yes. And what does it signify? The crescent of moon. What is the quality of moon? Why the crescent of moon is hung on his head? Because moon has cool light. Moon is the symbol of coolness. Head should not be hot. It should have peace. And then there is constant flow of the Ganga from the long hair, from the jata of Lord Shankar. And this signifies the flow of knowledge, the flow of pure knowledge. Now see, a person who is surrounded by inimical relations with a snake, rat, peacock, bullock, tiger, okay? And his head is cool with crescent of moon, and he can flow pure knowledge from his head. He has a trident, but he hurts none with that trident. This is the trident of mind, speech, and body. Trishul. So this image of Lord Shiva is metaphorical and it suggests the qualities of Shiva. And it is a status. So this prayer is a salutation to all the enlightened beings who are storehouse of enormous virtues. Dada Bhagwan's perspective on this mantra is drinking poison suggests that you remain calm and composed even after listening to scoldings, even after receiving insults. Stay at ease. It means you have learned. Drink. What is drinking poison? Quick reaction is people instantly react. And it requires a great courage. It is not a common man's cup of tea. That is why it is very difficult to become Shiva. Because if you want to be Shiva, you have to drink poison. You cannot react. You have to be at peace. You have that moon as a crescent moon on your head. Then only you can become Shankar.
प्रणाम सर.
Brown.
सर इनलाइटेंड बीइंग का क्या तात्पर्य है, ये नहीं समझ में आ रहा है.
इनलाइटेंड बीइंग यानी वो जिन्हें आत्मा का साक्षात्कार हो गया है.
अच्छा अच्छा ठीक
है, आत्मा है, वो अविनाशी है, अनंत ज्ञानी है, अनंतदर्शी है, वो इनलाइटेंड.
जी जी. थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू.
So in this Kali Kal, this is a difficult time, and it is not very, it is not, say, easily possible to have equanimity. Okay, that is why we require strength. It is not in our control. It is not that one can become Shiva on his own self. Blessings are required, strength is required, guidance is required, and that is why this salutation, this prayer is required. And finally comes Jai Satchitanand. Now we have seen the first Naukar mantra, salutation to 5 enlightened beings. Vasudeva, salutation to Vasudeva is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And Shiva, Om Namah Shivaya. Okay. Now, Jai Satchidanand, this verse is applicable to entire mankind. Let us see how. It means greetings someone with Jai Satchidanand. It means I salute his blissful, immortal, absolute consciousness. So when you greet Jai Satchidanand, you are also doing obeisance to the front person's pure self. Prevail forever, the immortal soul. So if there is pure awareness of the eternal is bliss, right? And all living beings, they have this pure self. Whatever may be the religion, whatever may be the place or content, whatever may be the caste, human being means he has a soul, he has pure self, and that pure self itself is essence of God, essence of Almighty. That is why we salute by saying Jai Sat Chit Anand. Sat is perpetual, eternal. Chit is reflective consciousness. And when this Sat is settled properly, Chit is settled properly in Sat, then there rises a bliss that is called Anand. So Jai Sat Chit Anand. This greeting is to entire mankind. So we have elaboratively discussed 3 mantras. Dada Bhagwan suggested that if one chants these 3 mantras 5 times in the morning and 5 times in the evening, the results are amazing. We have seen that there are sound vibration, and this prayer should be done with inner purport. After closing eyes, all these letters should be visible. Letters, Namo Arihantanam, so that Arihantam, it should be very clearly seen. And we know who is Arihanta. So while doing so, our prayers definitely reach to that Arihanta, and in return we get blessings, even though he is far away, so many light years away from us. Even light may not reach there, even sound may not reach, but our bhav, our inner purport, our devotion, it has a special power to reach there, and it can be felt and answered. Prayers are answered if they are properly addressed. Okay, so it is very effective to read Trimantra 5 times in the morning and 5 times in the evening. It will definitely remove all the obstacles, troubles from your life. Do this as an experiment and check the result. Because I have experience, I can say with confidence. I have tested it myself. Previously, the life was full of obstacles, full of troubles. Energy used to flow here and there. Result was horrible. All time tension, depression, no? But right now, even though certain issues are there, I must say they are mitigated. They can be handled very easily, and much more time one can use for this marching on the spiritual path. Now, second prayer is there, and it is called prayer unto pure soul. Both these prayers are universal. People should not have this misunderstanding that they are Jain or Hindu or whatever. No, it is for entire mankind, and result can be felt by anyone. Second prayer is also very important because this prayer has a confession. We all have done something wrong in our life. See what happens. And we know there is God within us. If I have done something wrong, the world may not know. But I know, myself knows, my soul knows that I have done this wrong. And it creates guilty feeling. It strikes later when the certain things happens, or when it is time to reap the fruit. This happens. I have done such a wrong thing to him. And when the same thing happened to me, how sorry I feel. Now, this feeling is not no more good. This is negative meditation. I would not have done so. But what to do? There have been many examples. A person who has done any bad deed later suffers a lot because his consciousness preaches him constantly. You are not a good man. You have done this very wrong, and you should pay the consequences for that. His rest is totally gone. He becomes restless. And this has been mentioned in some of the dramas of Shakespeare. In Macbeth, this is my subject is English literature, so it occurs to me. In Macbeth, a lady murdered a king due to greed because she wants her husband to become king. So she invites king, and in his sleep, she murdered him. But later, she is so much horrified that all the time she says, "Oh my God, All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten these little hands. This is the quotation. Yeah, I have done such a heinous act. My hands are smelling very bad. She has hallucination. So after doing something wrong, this preaching, this pricking, this striking all the time, this guilt feeling, it doesn't stop. And a person suffers a lot. So for that, this is the prayer. You may call it the prayer of confession. So Supreme God within me, the prayer is addressed to the Supreme God within oneself. When you say this, you are addressing the essence of God within you. It is there. He is there. And he listens and he answers also. So, O Supreme God within me, very powerful prayer this is. You reside within all living beings just as you reside within me. All living beings have the same essence. That is why the principle of non-violence is taught in all the religions. If you hurt anyone, you hurt God. My real form is the same as yours. My real form is pure soul. I am not body, I am pure soul. O pure soul God, with utmost devotion and oneness, I offer my salutations to you. I confess unto you all mistakes. Here we have to take pause and we have to recall whatever troubles, hurt, mistakes, harm we have caused to any living being that I have committed in my ignorant state. So those who do this, they are ignorant and they suffer. Later, I forgot to tell you, Lady Macbeth suffers a lot. She asks for death. Her rest is totally gone. She walks in sleep because she committed murder. And she did not confess. She had no confession. I sincerely repent for these mistakes and heartily ask for your pardon, nullifying the bad karmas by this prayer. Because karmas are there. Whatever seeds we have sown, they will definitely germinate, and we have to reap the fruits grown out of that seed. So I sincerely repent for these mistakes and heartily ask for your pardon. Oh God, inner God, pure soul, please forgive me, forgive me, forgive me 3 times. And give me the strength not to repeat the same mistakes ever. Oh pure soul God, please bless us all with such grace that this separation of mind from you disappears and I attain oneness with you. Right now, I have no oneness. I regard myself different from you. I regard myself as a body. I want to attain oneness with you. I want to have that experience that you, God, is inside me in the form of pure soul. And He is the most powerful. He is infinite. He has infinite knowledge, infinite vision. You see, our saintly person all the time said one and the same sentence again and again that you are the most powerful. You are the creator of your own world. Emerson also has studied Indian scriptures, and he said, while living, you create your own world. May I remain one with you all the time. So this is.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
सर नलीफाइंग का मतलब हमको समझ में नहीं आया.
नलीफाई यानी इफेक्ट को समाप्त कर देना.
अच्छा ठीक जी.
So pure soul God, may I remain one with you all the time. Jai Satchidanand, Jai Satchidanand. This is Vasan Kaka says it's a great password, and one we should recite all this prayer once or the Trimantra twice, and this once, and it is for entire mankind. Let us do it every day and check the result, and please share. I pray, I believe that, and I also pray that it will definitely bring all the happiness, peace, and bliss to your life. But use inner purpose, and this will really change your life a lot. That's all about this session. And our next session will be 9 priceless diamonds. It will be taken by Miss Sejal Nathu from USA, and it will be on 11th March. I now invite all of you for discussion. If there is any question, you can put forward. We will have some discussion about Trimantra and prayer unto pure soul. Yes, Gati Krishna ji.
Yes, sir.
Any question or anything to add or any query?
I have one question I sent in chat box, sir.
Oh, let me check. Among various categories of prayers, which one is the better one for a devotee? All right. See, we have already discussed at the outset. All prayers are good, all prayers are devotional, and all prayers have their own effect. Even when you teach your school children to sing Itni Shakti Hame Dena Data, for that time the mind is concentrated. Effect is there. Now, we are talking about blissful prayer, the most effective prayers, which results can be checked while living, which results are clear, and which comes from the enlightened being, the one who experienced the pure self and who helped others to confront with their pure self. So this is the great recovery of Trimantra. It was lost in the course of time. दादा भगवान ने इसको रिस्टोर किया ह्यूमैनिटी को. पहले ये मंत्र था नहीं, नवकार मंत्र ही था, और इस त्रि मंत्र का जाप करके कहिए या 5 बार बोल के कहिए, हम परमानंद पा सकते हैं. एक एक्सपेरिमेंट करके करना है. अब आपने डिवोटी लिखा है, उसमें हमारा जो मार्ग है वो डिवोटी वाला है ही नहीं. पूजा, भजन, पूजन, कीर्तन, इसके बारे में हम चर्चा नहीं करते. हम उसको देखते हैं साइंस के तरीके से, हम देखते हैं उसको एक्सपेरिमेंट के तरीके से. ठीक है ना? तो जितनी भी प्रेयर्स हैं उनमें से सभी के लिए त्रिमंत्र को हम कहें कि ये मंगलमय है. उसमें आता है ना, पढ़मम हवई मंगलम, ये अति मंगलकारी है, अति मंगलमय है. यदि अध्यात्म पथ पर तेजी से आगे बढ़ना है तो देखिए, अभी हम एनालॉजी करें तो वाहन तो कई है, साइकिल भी है, बैलगाड़ी भी है, बस भी है, मोटर है, ट्रेन है, फ्लाइट है. अभी हमको डेस्टिनेशन पर फास्ट जाना है तो ये जो है ये फ्लाइट है, इसमें आप बैठ जाइए तो उतनी दूर तक आपको तुरंत बराबर पहुंचा देगा जहां मंजिल है वहां. ठीक है, लेकिन वाहन सभी जरूरी है.
थैंक यू.
धन्यवाद.
और सर मेरा व्यक्तिगत अनुभव है सर. हेलो.
हाँ जी साहब.
सर मेरा व्यक्तिगत अनुभव यह है कि
हाँ,
अगर आप पूजा पाठ में ज्यादा ध्यान देते हैं तो आप जो भी चाहते हैं ना, दुनिया का कोई भी चीज सर, असंभवकारी चीज, वो आपको प्राप्त हो जाता है सर.
हाँ हाँ, बिल्कुल सही बात है.
ये मेरा व्यक्तिगत अनुभव.
वो भी एक साइंस है. देखिए, डॉक्टर्स क्या बोलता है ऑपरेशन थिएटर पे, जब उसको पता चलता है कि ये ऑपरेशन नहीं होगा, पेशेंट नहीं बचने वाला, तो डॉक्टर साहब क्या बोलते हैं, प्लीज प्रे टू गॉड नाउ.
यस 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 सर. अल्टीमेटली
भगवान भरोसे हैं. और हमारी आत्मा जो है वो बहुत पावरफुल है.
जी जी
और
जी।
आपको एक शक्ति दी गई है जिसको कहते हैं कल्प शक्ति।
हाँ हाँ
आप जो भी कहोगे ना साहब, ऐसी
हाँ,
स्थिति हो जाएगी कि वो ही होगा। इतनी शक्ति आत्मा के भीतर है, लेकिन आत्मा पर आवरण पड़े हैं,
जी सर।
कवरिंग्स बहुत ज्यादा है।
जी
तो ये
सर।
मंत्रों से वो कवरिंग हट जाती है और वो शक्तियां उजागर होने लगती है।
और वैष्णो देवी जाकर भी सर रिकवरिंग दूर होता है।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
थैंक यू सर।
ठीक है, धन्यवाद आप सभी का। चलिए फिर यहाँ हम समाप्त करें। किसी को अपनी कुछ राय रखना है, कुछ पूछना है तो पूछ सकते हैं।
हाय सर, सोनम
हाँ हाँ,
यहाँ।
सोनम जी बोलिए।
हाँ सर, सर त्रिमंत्र को लेके मेरे भी बहुत सारे अच्छे अच्छे अनुभव है। एंड मतलब काफ़ी सारे जो ऑब्स्टेकल्स है त्रिमंत्र को लेके, उस जैसे आपने 5 बार मॉर्निंग में और 5 बार इवनिंग में कहने के लिए कहा है, तो वो प्रैक्टिस करते करते बहुत अच्छे अनुभव हो रहे हैं सर।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सही बात है, मेरे भी है।
लाइक जैसे आपने कहा कि वर्ल्डली ऑब्स्टेकल्स में तो वो हेल्पफुल है ही है, बट अगर अध्यात्म में आगे बढ़ना है तो ये ऐसा है सर, ये एक्सपीरियंस करने पे ही पता चलता है।
बिल्कुल सही बात है।
आई वुड लाइक टू टेल एवरीबडी के जैसे सर ने बताया है, अगर हम सब एक्सपीरियंस करेंगे ये सब चीज़ों के लिए त्रिमंत्र और जो ब्लिसफुल प्लेयर्स है, तो सभी को बहुत फायदा होगा इसमें। जय सच्चिदानंद।
हाँ जी, और हमने इसीलिए सेशन लिया है कि आप जब त्रिमंत्र बोलें तो
हाँ।
वो ओरल एक्टिविटी ना हो कि भाई मतलब समझ में नहीं आ रहा, बस बोल रहे हैं, ऐसा नहीं। अभी आपको अर्थ पता है, आप किसको नमस्कार कर रहे हैं वो पता है ना। तो
अंडरस्टैंडिंग।
आपका भाव वहां तक पहुंचेगा तब आपको रिजल्ट मिलेगा। केवल हमने पोपट को पढ़ा दिया, हमारे तोते को रटा दिया, तो तोता तो सीख लेगा, वो नमो अरिहंताणम, नमो सिद्धानम, नमो आर्यणम, नमो अवज्ञानम, वो तो सीख लेगा, लेकिन उसको रिजल्ट थोड़ा कम मिलेगा, ज्यादा नहीं मिलेगा, क्योंकि उसमें भाव नहीं है। ठीक है ना, उसको मतलब भी पता नहीं है कि मैं किसको लिए क्या पहुंचा रहा हूँ। और इसमें एग्जैक्ट एड्रेस दिया है। आप जब अरिहंत को नमस्कार करोगे वो अरिहंत तक पहुंच जाएगा, सिद्धों तक पहुंचेगा। इसमें आपके इष्टदेव भी आ गए। आप किसी गुरु को मानते हैं, जैसे हमारे यहाँ रंग अवधूत स्वामी हैं, जलाराम बाबा, ये नमो लोहे सव साहु नम, जितने साधु हैं, जितने साधक हैं, वो सब इसमें आ गए हैं, हमारे भारत के भी और यूनिवर्स के भी। तो कोई भी ऐसा साधक नहीं छूटा जिसने आत्मज्ञान पाया हो। अब इतने लोगों का साहब जब आशीर्वाद, इतने लोगों की कृपा मिलेगी, तो अपना तो काम बन गया।
यस
अपना तो काम
सर।
निकल
और
गया।
सबसे बड़ा अनुभव जो नमो अरिहंताणम जो है,
जी
वो मतलब अगर 108 टाइम्स बोलते हैं तो अंदर जो कषाय पड़े हैं उसमें एक्चुअली में दिख रहा है वो बहुत निर्मूल होते जा रहे हैं, मतलब एकदम।
बिल्कुल सही बात है। देखिए इसमें भी कारण क्या है, क्योंकि वो अरिहंत फिजिकल फॉर्म में है।
यस।
हम जैसे आप है ना, जैसे हम लोग है बॉडी में, ऐसे वो सशरीर है।
करेक्ट।
हाँ, और इसीलिए उनकी कृपा, और भारत से उनका ऋणानुबंध है।
यस।
हाँ, भारत क्षेत्र जो है अपना इंडिया,
यस सर।
यहाँ पर वो कभी रह चुके होंगे, तो उनका उनका मतलब रिलेशन में है, इसलिए हम उनकी कृपा प्राप्त कर सकते हैं। उनकी कृपा प्राप्त करना आसान नहीं है,
हाँ
लेकिन क्योंकि वो हमारे साथ ऋणानुबंध में है, तो वो
हाँ।
हमारी सहायता अवश्य करते हैं।
यस।
फिर
और
उनसे
सर
मिलने का
जैसे
योग
आपने
आया।
परमम हवहि मंगलम, मतलब ये मंत्र में कुछ भी कार्य स्टार्ट करने के पहले प्रथम में ये मंत्र बोलूं और मैं ये कार्य स्टार्ट करूं तो 100% सफलता मिलती है और मिलती ही है सर उसमें।
बहुत बढ़िया बात कही आपने, मैं भूल गया था ये कहना कि आप
हाँ।
कुछ भी करेंगे, ये मंत्र का उच्चारण बहुत ही मंगलमय है। हमारे यहाँ जितने भी क्लोज हैं, अभी यूनिवर्सिटी बन रही है यहाँ पे एक बहुत बड़ी, उन्होंने त्रिमंत्र से शुरुआत कर दी, बढ़िया, क्योंकि बहुत बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट है और विश्वास है उनको कि वो सफल होगा, और वो अवश्य होगा, क्योंकि मंगलमय है, एक्सपेक्टेड रिजल्ट मिलते हैं।
सर एक लास्ट अनुभव, जिस तरह से आपने बताया कि एक एक लेटर को देख के आंखों के सामने विजुअलाइज करके अगर उसे समझ के हम लोग बोलते हैं, उसका जो इफेक्ट्स आता है वो बहुत ही पावरफुल इफेक्ट्स होता है।
बिल्कुल
ये
बिल्कुल
ये है, ये बात बहुत सही है।
बिल्कुल पावरफुल इफेक्ट है उसका।
थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका जुड़ने के लिए। तो आप लोग भी ये प्रयोग कीजिए, विज्ञान का प्रयोग,
यस।
और देखिए आपको कैसे रिजल्ट मिलते हैं। तो ये
सर तीनों मंत्र को सर डाल दीजिएगा ग्रुप में।
मैंने पहले से शेयर कर दिए हैं व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में। हाँ
जी सर।
इंग्लिश में शेयर कर दिए, हिंदी में भी शेयर कर दे रहा हूँ।
जी सर।
चलिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका। जय सच्चिदानंद।
जय सच्चिदानंद।
जय सच्चिदानंद।
जय सच्चिदानंद।
जय सच्चिदानंद।